Hello, I'm Robin, and welcome back to this beast, the Deckard's Dream. Now, it's been almost a year since I last poked around in the nether regions of this gorgeous synthesizer. I left it just before Synth East last year. It was working, I was getting sound, and it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, it wasn't quite entirely right, because there was some problems inside that I just had ran out of time with which to tackle. And now, just before Synth East 2024, where I have no time at all, I've decided I really wanted to get it out and give it another poke. So here I am. To recap, I don't know. This is like episode 19. There's 18 other videos you could go through to explore my 5-year mission to build this gorgeous Deckard's Dream synthesizer. And it is lovely. It is a lovely thing. I've really enjoyed having it out on the bench the last couple of days and fiddling around with it and finding those sounds and just getting used to that front panel again. It's just great. It's just great. But there are still problems. And I thought perhaps I could just move it down the road a little bit further. I mean, I've got it to a point where I could potentially just screw it together, put the knobs and bits and pieces on, which is what I really want to do, and declare that it is done despite its a couple of mild shortcomings. Or I could perhaps just investigate it a little bit deeper, take an hour out of my day today and have a further fiddle. Maybe I can just tip it over the edge towards being everything it could be, rather than almost everything it could be and me wanting to take it apart. I just need to get beyond that wanting to take it apart bit. So, where are we? What's going on? How is it now? Well, the really odd thing is that this morning it's better than it was last night. It seems to now have righted itself on one of the key things that was wrong, which is like, what am I supposed to do with that? Because it will evidently go wrong again the next time I move it or shift it or something. There's something which is causing a problem. But however, as far as I can work out, there are two key problems. Problem one is the earthing on the audio outputs. There's some kind of earth problem which I will attempt to demonstrate. See, it's a beautiful sounding thing. There's no problem there at all. So the sound is coming out of the back. Gorgeous, beautiful sound. However, the earthing's all over the place. So as I turn the volume knob, you can hear that. It's not quite right. Also, at certain times, if you adjust the case a little bit, now that's interesting. The problem I had before is back. Well, okay, that gives us more to work on. But you can hear that there is definitely a problem with the earthing out at the back. And when you move it or you adjust it, you get this terrible crackle. Which is no good. No good. You can't cope with that. You can't get around it. Can't work around it. However, the workaround I have found is to use a headphone output. If I use the headphone output, I get none of those problems. None of those problems. Downside is the volume doesn't work with the headphone output, but I'm getting none of the earthing issues. may be thinking to yourself, what's that little high-pitched noise I can hear from time to time? Yeah, see, that's problem number 2. Problem number 2 is that voice 5 just goes nuts. So if I go through this, you can't see the panel from where you are, but trust me, this little thing here, I'll bring you in a minute when I do a bit more testing. But this, when you play a monophonic sound, it goes through each voice in turn, which is nice. And as I go through each voice, when I hit voice 5, there, you'll hear it. There's something up there. Now, it has been a lot worse. It usually sits there and goes ee at you the whole time, as if the whole thing has been sort of pitch shifted, or the resonance is off, or something. But then the other thing that I've noticed in playing this last couple of days is that, generally speaking, each voice is kind of uneven. So if I put this on a... They do not sound the same. Number 5. Ow. Also, if I mix between the 2 layers, that pronounces it a little bit more. So it's as if, I'm sorry about voice 5. Ow. Those first 4 are great. So is 8. 5 is off. 6 and 7 seem to have lost their sawtooth waves. Now I wonder whether they're receiving all the same commands. Maybe it's to do with the panel's not sending them all the same commands, so it's not really changing them all directly. Maybe there's something I could do about that. I don't know, but let me put it on to, if I put the sustain and release up. So that's voice 8. It has both layers. And it has all 4 waveforms going through. Okay. Voice 1. Something different going on there. Let me make sure I've got everything the same. Okay, so that's the sawtooth, I think. It might be the square wave coming through. Can't remember. Sawtooth. And then that's the sine wave. So that appears to be there. On the other side, there's something amiss there. The level of that particular one isn't there. And then that's a sine wave. Or maybe it is there and it's just gone away because I've spent too much time talking about it. Okay, let's put the release, everything as long as possible. But of course when I take my finger off and press it again, I'm onto another voice. So I've got to do this quite methodically. So I'm now on voice 3. Voice 3, mix 1 layer. I've got both things going on. Go to the second layer. I've got both things going on. Number 4. Got that. And that. Everything appears to be correct. Voice 5. Ow. This one here obviously seems to have something going on. Sine wave is alright. This layer seems to be fine. So it's there that there's a problem. Something weird in that. Okay, voice 6. That also has something odd going on with layer 1. There's the sine wave. That side works fine. 7. Again, something strange going on with that top layer. There's the sine. Fine on layer 2. Are you with me? And then back to number 8. That seems to be fine. So I have some unevenness in the voice cards. Now I don't know whether it's the voice cards or whether it's the architecture motherboard in which that's plugging into. When I was having trouble with voice number 5, I've swapped out cards all over the place, and it was always on slot 5 where the problem seemed to be, which would lead me to believe that it's in the motherboard, not in the voice card. And that requires me to take this front panel apart and to pull the boards apart and to investigate, to see if I can find something which is obviously bridged or not soldered correctly. So in order to do this, I'm going to have to be methodical. I have to take out all the sound. I'm going to have to take out all the voice cards and then put them in one by one to see whether they function, first of all, and then build the synth back up to find if it's a problem with the slot or with the voice card. Do you see what I mean? So that's my task, I think, for the next half an hour is my plan, is just to go through those things methodically to see if I can identify where the problem is. And ultimately, if it's, if there's some variation between the sounds, that's not the end of the world. That's character, you could say, provided that it's musically okay. To lose a waveform in one of the notes, that has something about it. That's all right. I can live with that. But to have a high-pitched squeal, that I can't. So ultimately what I want to get to is either, there are a number of outcomes. There's a solve the problem entirely. Well, that'd be fantastic. Or remove either a faulty voice card or the slot in which that is occurring and just live with 7 voices, And that's okay. I could do that too. But I want to see if I can if I can come to one of those outcomes today so that I can finally completely screw it together, put the knob and bits and pieces on, and then enjoy it as a synthesizer without having to worry about trying to fix it all the time. That is my task. So that is where we are. So what I'm going to do now, as I say, take all the voice cards out, put them in one by one and test them. And I'll leave the camera running for this so that you can enjoy that too. That's fun, isn't it? So, yeah. Let's go through that and we'll see what happens on the other end. Okay. Right. Now I have actually screwed the back in. Is that a good idea? I don't know. It just means I've got to keep taking this ribbon out in order to release the front. So here we are. It smells very warm. I've had it on for quite a while, so this is all very warmed up. It is off though, right? It is off. Unplug the power. To make sure about that. So, geez, I don't know. I don't know, I just don't know. Right, so the plan. Remove cards. Test them one by one. That's the plan. Okay, cool. So, oh. Now I did, funnily enough, number all the cards. That is number 5. So it'd be good if I did them in order properly. 3, 4. So evidently I took 5 out at some point to test that one and move it around, and I swapped it with number 1 and that seemed to work, and so that was something that I did last time. So now I've got voice card 1, plug that in there. Put it back in. Now there's something to be said for sort of cable tying the cards in. That's certainly something that's recommended overall, which I will do. And you know, there is always the possibility that this wobbling about, being at this angle, all of these sorts of things are not helpful. But hey, let's see where we get to. Okay. Nice. So it's climbing through the voices. So I'm going to need to change this to see what I can do. To one voice. Here's a lovely thing. Now I'm not here to get distracted by its loveliness. I'm here just to test that it's getting everything it should do. So this is going on the front panel. It's here, it's in panel mode, not in preset mode. So let's put it onto the first one. There's a sine. Here is the other side. Okay. Now there's definitely something there. But there's something a bit wrong. What I might need is a piece of paper to write this down. Yeah, that'll do. So this is... Okay, voice card number 1. So, oh. So it seems to be suddenly the two. There's something weird going on. Maybe it's if I just set this running so I'm no longer beating anything around. Okay, so there's some kind of connection issue there. Alright, so this is oh my goodness. So layer 1 connection issue. I'm going to have to go back through this video to work all this out again. Once I've gone through. But okay, so that's interesting. If I put it down to layer 2. Sounding the same. Just brilliant. So layer 1, so it's VCF. So if I could write, so I've got layer 1, sine, okay. layer 2. Just the level of professionalism I'm showing here. Sine. That's that. So that sounds good. Okay, works when tapped. Two, all okay. Alright, then number 2. It wasn't supposed to be hilarious. So there's something going on. Now it may be that this is going to be the same on every card I put in. You see, this is why going through the cards is a good idea. I've got to make sure I put these in the right way around, or I will be in serious trouble. Okay, number 2. Oh, I haven't put the thing in the front. Okay. That's 2. That's 1. Well, that's unexpected. Alright, so with voice 2 it's currently out of tune, so let's go to just the, no, not that bit, the retuning, and just make sure that it's calibrated. Okay, done. That's better. Right, where was I? So layer 1. So layer 1, sine, no. VCF, yes. Side 2. That's all fine. Layer 2. Sine, yes. VCF, yes. Okay, number 3. again. We're not going to worry about it. I'm just going to crack on. So level 1. VCF works. Sine wave works. Layer 2. That's there. That's there. So card 3 is all good. Tuning a bit crap. Like a theme. Gets dodgy up this high end, doesn't it? So first layer. It's okay, second layer. Okay, so 4, all good. Slightly dodgy tuning. That sounds great. Straight away great. So layer 1. Layer 2. Oh. Okay, so voice 5, so VCF layer 2, very quiet, just seems to be the level. Okay, 6 layer 1, weird VCF channel. I mean, that's just the feedback of the filter, isn't it? More trouble than that's going on here. Okay, weird VCF. Sounds strangled. Two. Sine, no. VCF, no. So this is the worst one so far. Diddly squat going on there. Oh, there's something. So it's probably the VCAs. Listen to me, hey? Sounding like a troubleshooter. Maybe my ambitions should be tempered slightly to a 4-voice synthesizer. Maybe that's what I should be looking at. And that's okay, you know? That's still okay. Oh dear. Close enough. Now, I found this on 1, and that might be why 6 was weird. So I'm going to go back and test 6 in a minute. But as it is. So 4, voice 7, sine yes, BCF no. Damn it. So, okay, layer 1, sine yes. VCF, no. Damn. Layer 2, sine VCF, yes. Number 8. Oh no, I need to do number 6 again, quick. Just to confirm. Yeah, I mean, maybe all this clumping about with voice cards is not very healthy. In my laboratory conditions. Nice, this is in the middle this time. So layer 2, sine wave, and VCF. So I got that wrong, so that's all wrong on that. But on this side, yeah, that sounds like a high pass. It's been high pass. No, it hasn't. So that's good now, that's good. Oh, good. Tuning. Layer 1, good. Layer 2, good. So looking at my list then, I've got something going on. I've got some kind of some problem with the layer 1 on voice card 1. Voice card 2, there's no sine wave on the first layer. Voice card 3, the tunings all over the place on layer 1. Voice card 4, it's again slightly dodgy tuning, but I think that's a bit of a theme. 5, you got part of it which has got a very quiet output. 6, oh yeah, strangled output on the layer 1, the rest of it's okay. 7, no filter, no waveform output on the layer 1. And number 8, largely good. Largely good. Okay. So, so that's, I don't know how scientific that is exactly, but that's something. Now what I want to do is go through the card slots. So I don't know whether this is going to cope with that or not, to see whether any of the slots in particular cause a problem, which is what we think is happening with number 5. So let's see whether I can do that. I might have to keep one in slot 1. I don't actually know. So let's put this in slot 2. This is actually the least troublesome one. Voice card number 8. So I need to get it to play on. Well, there's a number of voices, you see. I guess if I put it to, I always want it to, because it builds up voices. If I put it to polyphonic, then when I get to slot number 8, I'm going to have to press 8 keys in order to get it to sing. So if I leave it in mono mode, then it's going to step through the voices. So I can do that. So I might as well put the voice count back up to 8, so I'm not having to go into here every time. That seems to make sense to me. So there's my second voice. It's going to be really, really annoying. I don't know. Let me set that going. I was getting a little bit cavalier with it all. Now, the problem with it recalibrating, is that something to do with it being in slot 2? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to ignore the tuning for the minute and just concentrate on the fact that we're getting everything out of voice card 8 that we should be getting. Sine, sine. But otherwise good tuning, but otherwise good. Okay, slot 5. Weird high pitch. Weird high pitch. Layer 1. BCF level. Something definitely to do with the filter. So it's to do with low pass filter. So that's 6. Interesting. Perfect. Can't spell anything. Perfect. Yeah, that's interesting. Why on earth would the tuning be fine on that voice and not all on the other voices? I don't know. So what I'll do now, so we've identified that slot 5 is definitely a problem. So I'm either going to have to leave slot 5 out. But also, what's the worst voice card? The worst voice card was number 6, I think. Oh, but then 7 was missing a thing. 5 was very quiet. 2 was missing a thing. And 1's a bit dodgy. Oh, just flipping it. Right. So, all right, let me put everything back in except for card number 5. I'm just going to leave that one out for the moment and just see how well it sounds as a 7 voice without 5 plugged in, and then we're going to decide what to do from that point. So at least I'm not getting that obvious problem. Or is that just a big fat waste of time? Is that a big fat waste of time? This is card 7, 6. I'm going to leave 5 for the minute. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right, some kind of disaster I think we're looking at now. I'm running into calibration problems. Somehow the volume control has started working, which is nice. But I'm just not entirely sure what on earth is going on. Alright, so we've got some kind of working going on now, which is good, which is fine. So I love how I fixed the volume control just by bashing the case around. That's superb. So let me just go with, see if I can find some polyphonic sounds. There we go. Not entirely sure I'm showing this in a very good light. Let me see if we can get it to retune with nothing running into it, because that might have been the problem before. Now it seems to be taking an age to try to retune. So again, maybe it doesn't like it if there's something missing. So, alright, one last thing then, let's put that card back in and see where we are. I don't want to undo this now because the headphone socket was working. So, what is it? Oh, I don't know. It's there, isn't it? So why is that now suddenly? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, slot this one back in. So it seems to be that old Deckard's is all or nothing. Have you done it or you haven't? Wasn't really off. Right, it has to be able to tune itself. It has to be able to do that. Done. Woohoo! Okay. Thank goodness for that. So where does this leave me? Well, I've had to put the whole thing back together again. I've got all 8 voice cards in there. And the biggest problem is that slot number 5. Because whatever I do, I hit number 5 at some point and it gives me that high-pitched squeal. Now, there have been times where that's sort of gone away. I don't know whether it's because it's warmed up a bit more or it's just crossed itself or found another avenue by which to reroute its processes. Who knows? But it is a problem. It's a problem which prevents me from really using it. I mean, if I was to turn it down, I mean, let's have a quick look. Heck, let's have a quick look. If I was to go down to the voicing, let's try that again. Down to the voicing. And change it into 4 voice. Then I'm just going to use the first 4 voice cards. which is possible. Which is possible. It's only going to be stealing voices after all. But it feels like there's something tantalizingly close that perhaps I could potentially fix. I mean, the problems with the individual voice cards, are they the end of the world? No, I mean, you don't seem to experience those while you're playing it, particularly. I mean, there evidently are issues, problems, whatever, but in my usage, I'm not sure that's really going to get in the way. What's getting in the way is that number 5. So I love that. I love so much that organ sort of selection. I just want to pile a load of effects on now. I've got a thing over there I want to stick on it and do all that. It's beautiful, but I want to get the knob on and I want to get all of the bits on the sliders, and then it feels finished. And at this moment I've got to decide whether 4 voices is going to be enough or whether I'm going to work. Am I going to take it apart one more time to see if I can identify what it is behind slot number 5 that's given it the trouble? Is it worth one more once over? Maybe. Anyway, I'm going to finish this here. That's enough, I think, for this milling and mulling over of this thing, as I have plenty of other work to do in order to prepare for both the Norwich Science Festival and Synths, which is all happening next week. So I'm going to sleep on it. Maybe I'll have a bit more of a play. And then what will probably happen is that I'll take it apart one last time. Just to see. And if I can't solve it, 4 voices it is. 4 voices for me. Not bad. Not bad for someone of my calibre, I think. So there we go. Keep on going. And I hope that was useful. In the meantime, go and make some tunes.